For nearly 3 decades, Loughlin and Mossimo Giannulli were the picture of Hollywood success. Beauty, money, fame, and a love story that seemed unbreakable. They raised 2 stunning daughters, lived in multi-million-dollar mansions, and smiled on red carpets like nothing could ever go wrong. But behind the glamour, the truth was very different, because sometimes the most perfect relationships hide the most painful secrets. When the world found out what they had done to get their daughters into college, everything fell apart. Careers, reputations, and even their love. And now, after nearly 28 years of marriage, insiders say there's no chance they'll ever get back together. So, what really destroyed Laurie and Mossimo's relationship? How did a Hollywood fairy tale turn into a quiet tragedy? Let's go back to where it all began, because the start of this story looked nothing like the ending. In the mid-90s, Lori Loughlin was America's sweetheart, best known for her role as Aunt Becky on Full House. She was charming, elegant, and adored by millions. Meanwhile, Mossimo Giannulli was a fashion mogul in the making. His clothing brand, Mossimo, was taking over department stores and had become one of the hottest names in the industry. When the two met, it was instant chemistry. 2 successful people who understood each other's world. They didn't need validation, fame, or attention. They just fit. In 1997, they surprised everyone by marrying in a secret sunrise ceremony. No Hollywood extravaganza, just love. Together, they had 2 daughters, Isabella Rose and Olivia Jade, and built a life that seemed untouchable. But as their careers grew, so did the pressure. Behind the smiles, there were silent expectations, pride, and a desire to keep everything looking perfect, no matter the cost. And one day, that need for perfection would destroy everything. In 2019, the world found out a secret that would shock Hollywood. Lori and Mossimo were accused of paying $500,000 in bribes to get their daughters admitted to the University of Southern California as fake athletes. The story dominated every headline. Overnight, they went from a beloved Hollywood couple to the face of privilege and corruption. Their perfect image shattered. Lori was dropped from acting roles. Mossimo's name became a punchline. And the family that once had everything suddenly had nothing but shame. They pleaded guilty, accepting responsibility, but the damage was already done. Friends later said the stress nearly broke them. They were humiliated, isolated, and for the first time, facing real consequences. But what came next would test their marriage more than the world ever could. Lori served 2 months in prison. Mossimo served 5. For a couple used to luxury, private jets, and comfort, prison was another planet. When Lori was released, she came home changed, quieter, more reflective, and deeply hurt. Sources say Mossimo struggled to cope with the fallout too. He felt blamed, even by Lori, for pushing the plan too far. Friends close to the couple say their relationship was never the same after they got out. There was distance, tension, and guilt hanging in the air. Publicly, they pretended things were okay, but privately, they were falling apart. When the world stopped watching, that's when the silence between them grew the loudest. By 2024, things had quietly changed. Lori was living in a different home, focusing on peace and her own comeback. She started taking small acting roles again, humble, low profile, and far from the spotlight she once knew. Mossimo, on the other hand, spent more time on the West Coast, working on business projects and staying out of Hollywood's orbit completely. Friends noticed he wasn't wearing his wedding ring anymore, and whenever Lori appeared at events, she was always alone. To the public, they were taking a break, but behind closed doors, they were already living separate lives. And then, new photos surfaced that changed everything. It started with one picture. Mossimo was spotted in California with a woman named Hannah Harrison, a celebrity stylist. The internet went wild. Was this his new girlfriend? Hannah quickly denied the rumors, saying they were just friends, but to many the damage was done. Insiders said Lori was heartbroken and embarrassed. After everything they had gone through, the scandal, the prison time, The judgment. Seeing her ex-husband publicly with another woman was too much. People close to her said she broke down, realizing that whatever hope was left was gone for good. By October 2025, multiple sources confirmed what fans had feared. Loughlin and Mossimo's relationship was officially over. According to Page 6, there's no chance they'll reconcile. They're not just living apart, they're emotionally done. Loughlin has been described as devastated but at peace. She's focusing on spirituality, forgiveness, and rebuilding her self-worth. Mossimo, meanwhile, is focusing on his freedom, spending time with friends, traveling, and keeping his business ventures quiet. Insiders say there's no bad blood, just finality. After nearly 28 years together, their story had simply run out of pages. Their daughters, Olivia Jade and Isabella Rose, were deeply affected. Both love their parents equally and refuse to take sides, but being in the public eye during their parents' scandal, and now their split, has left scars. Olivia, who has her own YouTube career, opened up on her podcast, saying she's still processing everything her family went through. She spoke about learning forgiveness and letting go of shame, words that many believe were directed toward her parents' separation. Despite the pain, both sisters are standing strong, a reflection of the resilience Loughlin always taught them. Today, Loughlin is taking small steps forward. She's returned to acting in independent projects, focusing on positive roles that reflect second chances and redemption. Friends say she spends most of her time reading, meditating, and surrounding herself with peace. As for Mossimo, he's carving a new life away from fame, living quietly and privately, something he says he always wanted. They may never share the same home again, but they'll always share two daughters, decades of memories, and a story that the world will never forget. Because at the end of it all, Loughlин's story isn't about losing love. It's about finding herself again, after the world tried to tear her apart. Sometimes the hardest part of love isn't letting go of the other person. It's learning to forgive yourself for holding on too long. Guys, this channel is pretty new, and there's a lot of news I want to share with you. Stick around, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you're always the first to get the latest updates. Be the first to catch all the breaking Hollywood news.